Welcome back to World of Immersion. Today we are going to be ranking every single roller coaster at SeaWorld San Diego in 2023. Now recently we just had the chance to visit SeaWorld San Diego a few months ago, so now we are going to be ranking every single coaster there. While SeaWorld San Diego does not have a ton of coasters, currently they only have 5. Their collection is really cool, and there are some really great rides there, and I would strongly suggest checking out SeaWorld San Diego so you can rank for yourself all of the coasters there. They actually have another coaster opening up this summer, Arctic Rescue, that looks incredible. However, like I said, it's not open yet, so it will not be on this list. Before we start today's video, though, I do want to say that we do have merch now up on the channel, so be sure to check that out. There's a link in the description below or on our channel page as well if you would like to purchase any merch. They're all super cool, and I would definitely suggest checking them out if you want. But with that being said, let's get right into the video. Alright, starting off in last place is actually a coaster that we did not get a chance to ride because it was closed when we were there. So we're going to be going off of general community rankings of this ride and what we've heard about it in the past. And that ride is going to be Tidal Twister. This coaster is barely even a coaster, and from the looks of it, it doesn't really look that much fun. I've heard it's also quite significantly rougher than the other coasters in the park, and just overall, it looks like a pretty boring coaster, so that's why it comes in at last place. Like I said, though, we haven't actually been on it, so there's not much more we can say about this ride, so take what we're saying about this ride with a grain of salt. But let's move on to number 4 for all the coasters that we have now ridden. And coming in at number 4, we have Journey to Atlantis. This Mock Rides water coaster is actually a ton of fun. It was my first water coaster that I've been on, or at least first of these types of water coasters. I've been on the water slide style of water coasters, but the Journey to Atlantis was the first Mock Rides water coaster that I got to experience, and it was a ton of fun. There were some really cool, neat tricks in there. I won't spoil it, but the elevator lift has a really cool trick that as it goes up, that is such a surprise, and I had no clue about it going in. But overall, it's a really fun ride. The coaster sections are a little bit rough, but it's not that bad. And you're not really going to get that soaked on it. You might get a little wet if you're in the front row, but other than that, it's not too bad. We were there on a pretty chilly day, so it was nice that it wasn't a crazy soaker ride. But overall, it's a ton of fun. The theming is alright. There's some theming in certain sections of the ride, but like not much, especially not on the coaster section. There's no theming on the coaster section. And the queue is somewhat themed as well. But overall, it's a really fun ride, and I definitely suggest checking out, especially if you're a kid or a family. You're definitely going to like this ride. And coming in at number 3, we have Electric Eel, the park's premier ride Skyrocket 2 model. Now, this is the second of the Skyrocket 2s that I have been on. I've been on Superman Ultimate Flight over at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, and I actually prefer this one. I feel like it has something to do with the longer trains. I think being in that back row, you get flung over those drops even more than you do with just the 2-train version on Superman Ultimate Flight. However, the main difference that I definitely prefer over at Superman Ultimate Flight is the just use of lap bars. Unfortunately, Electric Eel does use those really annoying comfort collars, and that definitely does hinder the ride experience quite a bit. But overall, it's still a really fun ride. It's a really forceful launch, and the music they play as the cart's coming through the station is so much fun. Unfortunately, you can't really hear it when you're on the ride itself, but when you're waiting, it definitely hypes you up a lot. That music is really cool. And the theming in the queue and area, it looks really nice. Just overall, the ride is really fun. I think it's a great coaster. I think it's a great fit for the park as well. Alright, and we've already made it to the top 2. That's right, there's only 2 more coasters left, and these 2 are really close. In my opinion, they are the 2 best coasters in the park by far. Like, the difference between these 2 and Electric Eel is quite significant. However, they're really close to each other, but there is one clear winner in my opinion. But coming in at number 2 is going to be the park's newest roller coaster, Emperor, the B&M dive coaster. Now, Emperor is a ton of fun. It is a really fun dive coaster. Overall, I do really like dive coasters. I feel like sometimes they're a little underrated, but this one is just a ton of fun. It definitely provides by far the best views in the entire park because you're right on the edge of the park, so you get to see everything, and you get to see right out into the ocean. It is so much fun. That turnaround is so cool. It gives some great views, and the drop is a lot of fun. I think I prefer the front row on this ride, but for the drop, definitely the back row. The inversions, though, are also a ton of fun, and it's got some nice pops of airtime as well, which was really surprising to me. It was also quite significantly more intense than some of the other dive coasters I've been on, which was really fun. However, my main complaint with this ride is that it's really short. There's not even a mid-course, so there's not a second drop. It is just a super short ride. It has very few elements, but the elements it does have are really fun. It just sucks that it's such a short ride because I really feel like it could be the best coaster in the park if it was a longer ride. And maybe if it was a little bit taller. It's not actually over 200 feet, but it is still one of the tallest coasters in the park, and it is a lot of fun. I think it's definitely one of the best coasters there, and I would strongly suggest checking it out when you're at SeaWorld San Diego. It is definitely one of the highlights of your trip there. It is so much fun. But overall, just a really great coaster. One of my major complaints though about it is that the queue is like not themed at all, including also the station. There's no shade also. The station is completely outdoors. It's not even covered, and the queue itself is just really bland and also really short. I don't know what's going to happen if the park gets really crowded. I've never been there when it's super crowded, so I don't know. But maybe they have to do an extended queue outside of the main queue because the main queue is really, really small. And yeah, I just wish it has a little bit more theming and just kind of the area around the coaster. It looks like it was just kind of plopped down on like a parking lot almost. But yeah, it's still a really fun ride. Just some shade would be really nice and maybe a little bit additional theming. All right, and we've made it to the number one place, and there's only one coaster left, and only one coaster to take that number one spot, and that is going to be Manta. Manta is such a fantastic roller coaster. I seriously did not go in with that high expectations, and I came out and I was blown away. This ride, while it's still a family coaster, is so much fun. That is just the best word to describe this ride. It is just a ton of fun. The launches are not crazy forceful, but they're really fun. It's got a really cool pre-launch section before you actually launch out, building up the intensity and the hype with some music and it rocking back and forth and stuff. And then as soon as you launch out, it's just a ton of fun. It's got some cool airtime moments, some really fun bank turns. I wish it didn't stop on that second launch. That kind of kills the ride halfway through. But overall, it's just a ton of fun. And while it is a family coaster, like don't underestimate it. It is a ton of fun. It is a really, really fun coaster. I love Manta. I think it's seriously one of the most underrated coasters in California. And overall, it's my favorite coaster in all of SeaWorld San Diego. However, that's going to do it for our ranking today of every single roller coaster at SeaWorld San Diego in 2023. Be sure to comment down below how you would rank all the coasters at SeaWorld San Diego. I know many people are going to have very different rankings, so be sure to comment that down below. Thank you so much for watching World of Immersion today, but before you go, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss when we have brand new content from all of your favorite theme parks across the country. We're going to be having a review out from SeaWorld San Diego in the next few days, so be sure to be on the lookout for that one as well. Thank you so much for watching World of Immersion today, and we will catch you in the next video.